Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a quick easy upgrade you can do to your Duramax. It's super cheap and it's going to help you keep your fuel rail pressure up and pretty much give you a little more pedal and prevent, future failures. So basically what it is deleting the stock fuel filter head and the filter altogether. Some people just screw on the actual fast delete for the filter, and sure, that's going to save you a little money and now you don't have to replace filters, but you're still have restriction points in the filter head and points that can still fail. So it's important, I think, to just remove the whole thing, and this is only if you have a lift pump. You have 2 microns of filtration with just about any lift pump towards the back of the truck, and you have water separation, so it solves all your problems already. There's no reason to have a stock filter. So I also took a data log of my desired and actual fuel rail pressure at a full throttle pull with the fuel filter still installed and a lift pump, and I'm going to do a data log with the fuel filter removed. And just to let you know, I did this on my last truck and I had probably 20 or 30,000 miles trouble-free with this mod done, so you could trust it, I would say. And I was totally excited to do this on my new truck, which I just bought this truck. It's a 2011 Denali, and it needed a ton of stuff. I got through so much stuff already. I kind of wish I made videos on it, but I really just needed to get all the work done quick. So let's get to it. I'll show you exactly what you need and exactly how to do it. First thing you got to do, just to gain access to the fuel filter, remove the neck off the air box. That's just with a Phillips head, and then it just pulls away like that. So now we're just removing the this ground here on top of the fuel filter, and I'm assuming that's really a heater. My old truck didn't have this, but we're just removing that Torx bit from, and this guy just pulls off. So you can pretty much lay these out of the way. I'll probably tape them up in a minute. So right now, all I'm gonna do is just disconnect these 2 lines. There's 2 rubber lines that go in and out of the fuel filter, and I'm just gonna disconnect those, and that's basically the hoses we're gonna loop. You could just disconnect them up there. There's you could disconnect them from the crossover tube, but honestly, this gives you a little more bend and it kind of puts the hoses where they need to be. I'm just taking out this 13mm for the AC tube, or that's a heater core tube, I'm sorry, just so we can get a little more wiggle room for the fuel filter. I could already tell someone did this job before to replace this fuel filter housing, because first of all, it doesn't have GM marking on it. Some of the bolts are still loose and one of the hose clamps wasn't tight. And I know this fuel filter housing's bad because just before I put in my fast pump, I was losing pressure. So I guess this is a sign to not go with aftermarket fuel filter heads, just rebuild your own. Now I'm just taking off these 12mm bolts that actually hold on the fuel filter housing. And you're gonna have to muscle them all the way off, only because you can't fit a ratcheting wrench or a socket in there. And as you're getting this fuel filter from the top and pulling it out, you're gonna encounter the water and fuel sensor. So you will lose the water and fuel sensor, but no one seems to care about putting a cat filter in and losing the water separation and the water and fuel sensor, so I guess it's not that big of a deal. Just to press the clip, and this is the whole housing. So now you're just gonna take a foot of hose from your fast install and loop it. I give myself about, a foot or so, just anything that's gonna give you a good bend radius in here. So we're gonna add 2 1/2-inch barbs to either side, just male to male. You can get these pretty much anywhere. I'll post the O'Reilly part number, but it's not like it's a hard part to find. So we're gonna add them to both sides. Sometimes a little oil or super lube helps, just like the fast install, obviously. And we're just gonna connect the 2 ends together. So that's pretty much it. I just try to keep it down and low and out of the way. Still gonna tie up that heater core line over there. None of these really get hot other than this, but it's only like 200 degrees, so it's not like it's gonna melt this rubber. So that's about it. We're gonna run this thing up the road and check and see if we're still holding rail pressure better than we were before. So you can get yourself a little more pedal response by just removing this primer ball. So you can kind of see this is what you're, if you have a lift pump, you got to push past this, and it is a restriction. I mean, you want this fuel system as wide open as possible for, when you're romping on it. So you could do this while it's in the truck, and obviously this allows you to keep your stock filter head and stock fuel filter. But again, you will need a lift pump because this is the only thing from stopping your fuel from draining all the way back to the tank every time you shut off the truck. So these are the 2 components you're taking out, just this ball and spring, and obviously that frees you up a lot of space in here. And then this, the cage for the ball and everything like that, which is really just seals you against the inside of your fuel filter, goes right back over it, and you screw those back in and you're done. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope it was able to help you guys out. I totally think this is a worthwhile mod. Like I said, I have thousands of trouble-free miles on that on my old truck already. You're really not losing out by having either that primer ball if you already have a lift pump, or the stock 10 micron fuel filter with your water separation. But again, you obviously want to make sure you have a lift pump before you do this. There's a million reasons to have a lift pump. This is just one of them. And I have a ton more videos on this Duramax coming because it needs a lot of work. I have a list about a mile long I've already finished, but there's more to come. So if you're into that sort of thing, please like and subscribe. Thanks, bye.